Hey, what's up people? Pizowell here, and I want to talk to you guys about the new Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray release for 1980's The Hearse. Now this is going to be partially a review of this Blu-ray as well as a review of the movie. And The Hearse is about a woman by the name of Judy. She's decided to go spend the summer at her aunt's creepy old country home that was willed to her after the aunt passed away. Now she's not there very long before she discovers that there's something very, very wrong about the house, and that the house has a certain history that all the local town folk are really, really creeped out about, and they all meet poor Judy with various levels of just unwelcomed disdain. As a matter of fact, pretty much everybody in this town is a jerk. And we soon come to discover that Judy's aunt was up to some satanic shenanigans. I'll just leave it at that. And The Hearse is, I just said satanic shenanigans and my light blinked. How creepy was that? And now The Hearse is a good old-fashioned creepy house movie. And I have a certain fondness for creepy house movies, and The Hearse does a lot of good creepy house gags. The movie builds some nice tension. It's got a very nice sort of pacing to it, at least for the first 45 minutes or so. The acting is good. The cinematography is good. The score is good. It's kind of shaping up to be a very adult mystery thriller with some horror elements. But unfortunately, there's only about 45 minutes of actual story in The Hearse, and then beyond that point, they just recycle everything over and over and over again in order to pad out the runtime. For instance, windows just shatter and break of their own volition, seemingly. You get the quiet moment and then a window shatters. That happens about 2 or 3 times in this movie. Every time Judy goes into the small town to get groceries or to speak to the local town attorney to try and get everything for the house signed over into her name, we're greeted, or she is greeted, I should say, with people just really looking at her with an inordinate level of disdain, because they know that she's living in this old creepy house. They know that she's related to this old creepy woman, and they don't want any part of any of the above. Now, having visited the town twice, going to the grocery store, meeting the attorney, we kind of get the point. However, we also meet the town sheriff. We also meet a couple of local kids. We meet basically half the town, who all greet her with looks like, when they realize that she is who she is and she's living where she's living. There is some serious padding going on in this movie. Now, there's a really interesting story at the heart of this movie that I wish they would have explored. I think that story, the story involving the aunt, actually is a far more interesting story than the story involving Judy, the niece, because you have a storyline where you have these two sort of star-crossed lovers. They're into the occult. They want to live forever and love forever, so they make a pact with the devil in order to have immortal life. However, at the last minute, the woman backs out of the deal. She dies, and the guy is now immortal without his true love. Now, that is an interesting story. That really should have been the story of The Hearse. Oh, I also neglected to mention that, yes, there is a hearse in this movie, a ghostly hearse that just sort of comes in and out of the movie and parks in front of the old creepy house and freaks out Judy about 9 or 10 times in the movie. Literally, it just pulls up and parks in front of the house, and she freaks out and runs downstairs, and when she gets downstairs, it's gone. That happens several times in this movie. The Hearse is about 45 minutes of a pretty decent creepy house movie. Now, the subplot with the aunt, that would have made an even better movie than this one. I'm not sure why they didn't do that. But the Hearse is about 45 minutes of a pretty decent creepy house movie, and then it just gets really, really, really repetitive to pad out that runtime. Vinegar Syndrome have delivered us a really nice release for the Hearse. The picture quality and the sound quality are both excellent on this release. I do believe it is a newly scanned and restored 2K restoration from the 35mm original camera negative. It looks great and it sounds great. As far as extras are concerned, we have got a 20-minute and 38-second interview with lead actor David Gautreaux. I apologize if I butchered that name. It sounds very, very French. Entitled Satan Get Behind Thee. But Mr. Gautreaux discusses auditioning for, initially auditioning for the lead in The Omen 3, actually playing Damien, the character that Sam Neill played in The Omen 3. He didn't get the job, of course, but he used a similar mindset when he went in to audition for the Hearse. He discusses being torn at playing evil characters due to him being a devout Catholic. But he talked it over with his priest, who told him to give it his all. So the priest gave him the thumbs up to play as many evil characters as he possibly could. He also discusses in depth the love scene in the movie and uses the term fornication many, many times until it became very, very uncomfortable. I don't think I'd ever heard the word fornication used so much in my life. He also discusses working with the director and his co-stars in the Hearse. 20 minutes and 38 seconds, very in-depth interview with Mr. Gautreaux. I know I'm butchering that name and I deeply, deeply apologize. We also have an original theatrical trailer, a TV spot, and a promotional steel gallery for the film. This is a very nice release for the Hearse from the fine folks over at Vinegar Syndrome. If you're a fan of this movie, you definitely want to add this Blu-ray to your collection. Great picture and sound quality, and a very nice interview with the lead actor in the film. If you've not seen the Hearse and you want at least 45 minutes of a pretty good creepy house movie, definitely look into this Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome. I'll put a link to their website in the description. If you've seen the Hearse, please let me know what you think of it down in the comments section below. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. They're also right around here. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. What was with that freaking light, man? Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.